Hello, and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode 69. Toucan Chew, I'm Ron.
I'm Walker.
And I'm Shane.
Boy, I didn't know if we was going to get through that or not.
Oh, we got it.
We got it.
We are highly trained professionals.
Yeah, what he said.
Highly trained, underpaid. Again, welcome Between the Lanes, episode number 69. Find us on YouTube. Slot Racer is the channel. 69 episodes up there now. How-to articles, special episodes. Find us on Facebook. Between the Lanes is the page. And the race results for last weekend, December 1st and 2nd, the winning reports. And we will start with the Ohio Retro Series. ORS was at Mark's Model World in Canton, Ohio. In the Retro Angle Winder class, and these guys are kind of backwards in the pictures. So on the right is the winner, Jason Dennis, Greg Mayer second, Ace Fuller third, Ralph Middaugh fourth, and Jeremy Dennis, which is Jason's brother, fifth. Can-Am, these guys are in the right order. Greg Fox on the left was your winner, Greg Mayer second, Scott Lemon third, Jason Dennis fourth, Mark Piccioni in fifth. And then in the F1, Greg Fox was the winner, Bud Bardo second, Al Rudy third, Mr. Mayer was fourth, and Steve Plosnick was fifth. Then we'll go to the Mad Fast Series down at Rock Hill, South Carolina, Slot Car Cave. Walker was there. This is the Trucks podium. Jimmy Johnson was the winner. Vince was second. What's Vince's last name? Because I didn't see that.
Thomas.
Vince Thomas second, and Carl Big Money Burrow in third. And at every race, do they give the beer mugs away for the podium, or is this?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the beer mugs with like a different colored sticker on them.
Okay. And then we 4.5-inch class. Walker was the winner, with Jimmy Johnson second and Josh Barbie in third. And I think you won this race just by a lap or two or something. This was
it was half a lap.
Half a lap. This was the closest race of the day, I think.
We tied in qualifying as well, me and Jimmy, to the 7th digit.
Wow. That's impressive on SRT.
Yeah.
DTM class, Jimmy Johnson in his, I don't know, mask or something, was the winner. Russ Martin.
Underwear.
Walker was third. Okay, so I got to go back here. Wow. Okay. So Jimmy not only put a mask on, but he changed his shirt.
Wardrobe.
Or put a coat on or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So it looks like a coat.
His hat changed every picture, too.
No, I didn't notice that. Nothing gets by you, Walker. And then in GTP, after an ugly start, Russ Martin was the winner, Jimmy Johnson second, and Carl was third. Not that this has anything to do with USRA, but I thought I would just put this in there because there was a wing car race at Coeford Raceway this weekend. Some classes I'm sure was USRA rules and somewhere, but there was no pictures of any podiums. So International 15 was won by Bernie Schatz. Jeff Bechtel was second. Chad Cornett was third. Hillbilly 12, Ernie Parison was the winner. Ronnie Keener second. Stuart Coeford in third. Cobalt 12, Ronnie Keener was the winner. Greg Creasy second. Bernie Schatz third. 27 Light, it was Ernie Parison winning again. Boyd Johnson second. Stu Coeford third. 2-Motor Open, John Waller from Canada was the winner. Jim Stevens second. Stu Coeford third. Midwest Flat Track Series was at Chicagoland Raceway. Again, no pictures of the podium finishers. So in the Enduro class, Kevin Van Pelt was your winner. Dale Lipe second. Lee Verdich was third. JRL, it was Dale Lipe winning with Urza Vosberg second and Lee Verdich third. B Production, Mr. Lipe wins again. Rick Stangen second. Urza was third. And Open 12, Dale Lipe pulled off 3 out of 4. Winning the Open 12 class, Urza was second and Lee Verdich was third. Midwest Spec Series was at Route 66 in Elkhart, Illinois. Bombers was won by Jason Plummer. John Payne was second. P.J. Baltz was third. Dirt late model, Ed Riddle was the winner. Jason Plummer second, and PJ third. Spec Indy class, PJ was the winner. John Payne second, Dave Fugate in third. And then GTP, Ed Riddle was the winner. Jason Plummer second, and Tony Fanning in third. And all those classes were ran on the oval there. Not that makes any difference. At the GUR race at Raceway Biz in Melbourne, Florida, Can-Am was won by Terry Tawney with Brian Ambrose second, Jeff Bonanno third. In the stock car race, it was Brian Ambrose, your winner, Terry Tawney second, kind of reverse of the previous race. Jay Gard wound up third overall. And in F1, Jeff Bonanno was the winner with Terry Tawney second and Matt Borman third. Terry had a pretty good weekend, 2 seconds and a first. That's a pretty good podium weekend. The Ohio Oval Series was at Fast Tracks in Fremont, Ohio, on their oval track, not a tri-oval, straight up oval, 2 straights, 2 turns. In the Indy class, Cap Henry was the winner. Elmo was second, and Jim Pace Jr. was third. I was the winner in the – there it is.
Yeah.
You've seen it. I was the winner in the 4-inch stock car class. Cap Henry was second. Eric Shirey was third. And then Eric took his turn on the reindeer. He was the winner in dirt late model. Cap was second, and I was third. So there you have it, boys. Laugh all you want. Don't know if that was Rudolph or Dasher or Blitzen or what, but
Got a red nose.
Yeah, he's got a red nose.
he could have been drinking. Who knows? I mean, so then we had the Shinoda Reunion race on Saturday at Downriver Speedway in Lincoln Park, Michigan. And I don't really know where we're going to start, but we're going to start with Can-Am. So basically it was set up as a Shinoda Reunion. It would start in the afternoon, and they decided to run Can-Am and F1 BRS Retro rules. Can-Am was up first in the morning. Richard T. was your winner. Bob Foster was second. Austin Thiel was third. F1, we've seen the return of Rick Davis. He won F1. Frankie Ulbrich was the winner of the B-Main. He finished second overall. And Richard T. finished third. And then the Shinoda Reunion started, and here's a picture of the Thingy cars from 1968 or earlier. And I think there's like 57 cars in this picture, and I don't even know if I got the last row or two, but it was more of a reunion than a race, because out of the 50-some cars that you see there, only 9 raced in the period correct race. And some guys probably don't want to race their vintage cars that they've had all these years. They don't want to take a chance of them getting damaged or broke or whatever, or burning the motors up. So we had 9 cars. We ran on the hill climb, which was recently redone by track owner JB. The hill climb's in really nice shape now. We only raced on 6 lanes though, white through purple. We ran 2-minute heats, and there's another shot of all the cars. Like they had a best in show, like they had like a concourse judging deal. All the cars were there, and guys voted on what they thought. I don't know who won best of show. We're going to try and have Elliot on here maybe next week to talk about the race a little bit more, and we'll have hopefully some more details. So in the period correct race, I was the winner, and John Miller was second, and then Gene Adams was third. Gene makes, he basically repops all the old Shinoda bodies, and that's where we get them from for these types of races. And then the unlimited class, which was angle winders, they ran them on the King track. They had to have Shinoda bodies. Frank Ulbrich Sr. was the winner. John Miller was second, and Bob Foster was third. So that's your quickie report. And this painting back here, Elliot did, and it was kind of a tribute to Larry Shinoda. Larry Shinoda was a famous GM designer who designed the Mako Shark Corvettes, and then '63 split window Corvette, and then '68 Corvette used some of his Mako Shark stylings. And then he left GM, went to work for Ford, and was responsible for designing the '69, or maybe it was 1970 Boss Mustang. So pretty famous guy in the world of autos. But he did race slot cars in the Detroit area, and they raced at the Groove Raceway, and Larry designed most of these, or probably all of these, thingy Shinoda bodies during his time at GM, because they had a pretty good model department and stuff. So that's your winner chicken dinner report for last weekend.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Sunday. So this weekend, we have the Turkey Nationals drag race. We have AWRA at Santa Showdown at Staunton. The Florida Slot Car Series is in action. Central Illinois Slot Series is racing at Mid-America Bloomington, Illinois. The Mid-American Hard Body Series is at Mid-America Naperville. And Penn, Ohio is at Northeast Raceway up by Erie, Pennsylvania. And then the following weekend, December 15th, we've got Mid-South at Turn and Burn.
Yep.
Moxville, North Carolina. JPM Series is in action, and the Ohio Challenge Cup Series is at HMS Bellevue, Ohio. And then also December 15th is the NASCAR Christmas Tree 400 at Slot Cars Are Us, the track, White House, Tennessee, hard body race. So, I always...
Wow.
Okay, well, my question was going to be, what do you see wrong with this car?
Yeah.
Maybe you need another view.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so funny things you see at the slot car track. So
It could be two things. Did he drop a magnet? Because it looks like he's got a stack dragging.
yeah, well, there was there was some magnet rub. I don't know if that was before or after the wall hit that snapped the rear axle. Not sure he came
I wonder
back.
why that happened.
What happened?
I wonder how he snapped an axle.
Well, he hit the wall. That's how he snapped.
Yeah, I know that, but
And he snapped the axle off on the gear side. So I don't know if he came back and got on the track or not. I don't recall. But after the racing was over, I seen the car sitting over at the workbench and seen the extra length axle and thought, what the hell's going on here? Well,
yeah.
I guess when you use a JK drill blank 4.5-inch chassis front axle, you get a little extra length.
Is it an oval? That's good left side weight.
Well, yeah, but see, if you would do this setup on an oval,
That's even better.
it's even better, right?
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Okay, and I mean all the wheels are set screwed to the axle, so you're gonna have
One
all
a
this.
little bigger, though.
Well, that was just for photographic purposes, but
I know.
not only would you have extra traction bites, no one's passing your ass. I mean, come on. And I'll tell you when
I'm not laughing at this person. I'm laughing with this person because it's
so
good stuff.
when you're in red lane, you can really do some rim riding, and you put that Darlington stripe on the wall. Believe me.
He also has his lead wires backwards, don't he?
Well, it depends on how he's got the setup zapped. I mean,
Yeah, because I was just looking because he's got the front wire going to what I would consider the negative post.
but there is, this unless
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
wires are flipped up on the guide. I don't know. The interior's in the way, but there's about an extra inch of lead wire on both wires that's not needed. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Sorry. I just, whew.
when I go to races, I see things that I don't know. It's funny, but it's not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't mean to
I
laugh.
just want to take pictures of things and say, here's the funny thing I seen this week.
Right.
But I don't want to offend anybody. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
again, we can only learn from this experience. But but that long axle would work, okay, because it would all fit inside the wheels, but you're just carrying around all that extra weight that you don't need to carry. So
Yep. And the risk of breaking.
So I thought I would share that with you and our viewers this week. I figured we could all probably get a small chuckle out of it. And
Oh yeah.
but there's your hot oval setup. So
I have to remember that for the next national event.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then in sad news, this week we lost a couple of slot car racers, and we lost Brad Sullivan, who's a drag racer, a guy I never met, but he was down either from Texas or Oklahoma. I'm not sure which. I just kind of seen this yesterday. So we lost Brad Sullivan. And last week we talked about Bob Belhazen from Dallas, Texas. That he was going into the hospital for some surgery on last Thursday morning. Surgery was okay. Everything came out through. I guess he was doing his rounds, up walking around on Saturday and collapsed. And may Bob rest in peace. Both were really young. Like Brad was 36, I think they said, or 34. Bob's 46. Yeah, Bob was a super good guy, and hit me a little bit when I read that he was gone. So that's all I got for this portion of our show. So,
Hi.
what do you want to talk about, Walker?
What do I want to talk about? It's what
Yeah.
Shane wants to talk about.
Oh,
Here's what I want to talk about first.
okay. It's Shane's rant.
No, it's not a rant. I just noted something. Walker, you see Ron's hat?
Yeah,
See my hat?
yeah.
What
Oh,
you got going on with your hat?
you got the trucker bill going on. Isn't that the trucker bill?
No,
No.
I drive truck. We don't do that.
Oh, that's the wannabe rapster gangster
Oh yeah, yeah, totally, yeah. Yeah.
bill. Don't you have to turn it sideways a little bit?
Oh yeah, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, perfect.
No.
Actually, let me do this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. It's obvious you
Sorry.
haven't had a haircut.
Hey, I need one too. I'm getting pretty bad.
Okay.
I ain't like Goldilocks over there.
I think I got one scheduled for Thursday. All right. So, what do you want to talk about, Shane?
That was it.
I thought you had a rant or something.
Wasn't really a rant.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well, here's a good one, and this ain't really a rant.
Here we go.
It's not bad.
No, I know.
It's just my opinion, and as we've all talked, when you're making rules for a sanctioned race or any kind of race, they need to be clear. Yeah, and they need to be in the rules. You don't need any rules over here, rules over there, or rules in the discussion section. Because I mean, you'll have new people for racing. If they read the rules and they follow the rules, and then they show up, and it's like, oh, is that legal? Yeah. Where's it at in the rules?
Right.
And then you show them the rules, and I feel as if they can't show you where it's legal in the rules, then it's illegal. That's just my opinion. It's kind of been my gripe for the past 2 or 3 weeks. People, it's in the rules. I mean, if it's in the rules, and you show me where it's in the rules, by all means, if I protested you, I'm wrong. If you can't show me,
I got you.
Yeah.
that's just, I don't know. That's just kind of been my rant for the past couple of weeks. I've been trying to tell people you need to put these in the rules for people who don't know the, you know, group rules kind of we know amongst ourselves. Oh yeah, that's legal. We'll let that go, you know?
Right. And then some rules are just kind of vague and,
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of like one of the topics.
No, and then I wouldn't really say it as an excuse because I don't have a problem with any of these people or their racing.
Right.
But, you know, one of the excuses was the guy who does the rules isn't on Facebook. And it's like, maybe you should get someone who is on Facebook to police these rules and answer questions, you know? It makes it a lot easier. Because, I mean, I get it. You know, some people, they have Facebook for family reasons to keep up with family or other things. Or some people have it just because at the time it was kind of the popular thing and they check it maybe once every 2 weeks,
Right.
you know?
Okay, so the issue in this case is the rules in a DTM class somewhere says you have to run the ISRA Red Fox body.
And I'm not sure what part number it was.
Okay, but anyway, it's just the Red Fox ISRA body has a part number for the body you're supposed to run.
Yep.
That's what the rules say.
Yep, black and white.
Then at the race,
mm-hmm.
There's other bodies that are being allowed to be used.
Correct.
That are not either the specified manufacturer or part number,
mm-hmm.
and they're allowed to race. But because they were discussed elsewhere,
correct,
they're allowed to run.
Yep.
Right. So
I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just whenever I look up, someone says, Shane, go look at the rules. I look at the rules.
Right.
I feel as if they're the rules. That's where it should be.
Right.
You know, that's just me.
Well, and that's just like the Shinoda race. In the period correct class,
mm-hmm.
you know, basically was 1968 or earlier chassis, bodies, motors. You know, they were open on, you could use a modern gear. You could, and which really makes no sense to me because there are still, the Cox crown gears are still available. That's what we should be running. Yeah, Weldons aren't maybe. I mean, some Weldons are. But, you know, the rules should probably just specify you have to run a Cox gear because they're still available.
Yeah.
But you can run a modern gear. Okay, but the rule said you could run a modern gear. No problem with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could run a modern guide flag, but they designated it had to be a Parma guide flag. Again, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. You know, again, chassis, scratch builds had to be in line and be representative of what was used in 1968. So in my case, I just found some pictures of 68 thingy chassis. I sent them pictures to Bud Bartos. I said, you know, build me a chassis. And, you know, so he came up with a chassis that was.
Well, he was probably racing in that era, wasn't he? Or familiar with that
but
era?
I don't know. But I don't think he really ran the thingy thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I mean, as far as the chassis.
Right. So, you know, he built a chassis. No one had any complaints about it. No one had any complaints about anything.
Right.
Until yesterday, and then the question of my Mira B-can motor that me and John Miller used came into question.
Right.
But the Mira B-cans came out in 1968. Now there's a whole lot of different versions of Mira B-can motors, and what year what came out the first, I have no idea. Because no one's really did a really good extensive history of the B-can. But there was tons of changes of B-cans from 1968 through 72 before they were finally, you know, dumped. And
now you're saying B as in boy?
B as in boy. Because the first Mira American can was called the A can, which was the same size as the 16D. So, you know, Mabuchi was the big supplier of motors in the 60s. Everybody bought, you know, all the Mabuchi motors came in the country. They went to Polk in New York. Then he sent them out to the companies like K&B and Cox. And anything Mabuchi went through Polk's hands. He was the exclusive importer of Mabuchi motors in the United States. Didn't matter with slot cars, any Mabuchi motor went through him for any industry, any application. So, the companies would buy Mabuchi motors and rework them. And so Mura Motors started out by buying Mabuchi motors and then rewinding them and hopping them up, and they were sold as Mura Motors. Dyna Rewind did the same thing. Champion did the same thing. I mean, all the slot car companies that offered motors basically had a Mabuchi-based motor, whether it be 36D, 26D, 16D. But 16D was the smallest, lightest motor for a certain period of time. And there was a problem with getting enough motors in that a company called Tradeship, they went and they tooled an American-made 16D size can. And then Mura used that tooling and changed the whole pattern. And Mura made an American-made 16D motor, which they called the A can. So then they decided to come out with a B can, which was the same width as the 16D can, but a shorter height. And it took a shorter magnet. And those motors were notorious for running very, very hot. And then 70, 71, the C-Can came out from both Mura and Champion. Because the A-Can basically took a C-Can size magnet, but there was a shim. They call it a can in a can because the magnets went in the shim and then the shim slid in a can to hold the magnets because the magnets weren't as tall as the can. So then the C-Can was designed around those magnet dimensions. So it was shorter and a little narrower. Somebody bugging you?
Nah, dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready.
Yeah.
So the I said the B-Can came out in 68 and kind of was done by 72.
Yeah, because I've seen some of your write-up or whatnot where I read it.
So, but the rules said anything 1968 or earlier, and the
Right.
B-Can fit in there. But one participant who mailed in a car seems to have a problem with that. So, it went to, well, the motor wasn't made until 69, which no, it was made in 68. And then it went to, well, show me a picture of a B-Can in a thingy car. Well, again, not every car that was raced in the 60s ever got photographed and put in a magazine. But
Right.
being Ron Lenz was one of the designers of the B-Can motor, and he worked for Mura, and he also raced thingies out in Northern California with the Chaote bodies. I'm sure.
Yeah, one of my moments.
I'm sure he ran, tested whatever B-Cans in a thingy chassis.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in 1968, before the motor came out or as the motor came out. So there you have it. And so that's another thing too, like all these bodies all these Shinoda bodies. I know Shinoda made some bodies up until 1970. Now, if there's a body that was made in 1969, someone may have been running. I don't know. I don't know which bodies came out in 68 or earlier versus after 68, but
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun. There was no arguments, no discussions.
And see, that was my whole thing about that race was I wasn't trying to get anyone in trouble. You know,
Right.
I could care less, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? It's just, it aggravates me whenever I look at rules and then it's like, why is that being ran?
Right.
You know, because it's one of those deals we've talked before. Well, if I knew that, then I would try it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just seems like more and more. I think this year has been the worst year. I've seen a lot of undisclosed rules that were rules, but it's like, well, show me in the rule book. Where is it at?
Yeah, a lot of unwritten rules.
Yeah, well, we talked about it at this race. Well, not all of us go to all these races. So, like the click knows, but the
Right.
casual traveler, we don't have a clue, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, do you protest this person, You know what I mean? And then they get aggravated, may have hard feelings towards you, but it's like it's not in the rules.
Right.
And if you could show me where it's in the rules, then by all means, here's my money. I have no problem with that. You know? I mean, I've protested a guy before and they showed me everything was legit. Here's my money. We went out that night. I bought him a beer and dinner. You know, I told him, I was like, wasn't hard feelings. I've always been known for one, that if people are talking about someone cheating, it's like, I won't talk about it. I'll protest you. No hard feelings. And if you're found to be legit, then people will quit running their mouths and they'll know you're legit. You know, if you're cheating, then, hey, buddy, I'm sorry, but I went through the process. You know, I did what everyone else was talking about doing, you know. And in the same note, have I been protested? Yes. Have I been caught cheating? Yes. You know, have I been protested and been legit? I think you raced, Walker, Mid-South. Every race that whole season, the top 3 got tore down. I was good to go every race. Yeah. I think there's a picture floating around with me holding a baggie of my motor parts. I won the race and I had a bag of my motor parts.
I remember that. Yeah. DTP was the worst.
So, but yeah. Yep. Years ago, there was talk of a guy supposedly getting arms wound and he was running aluminum comms.
I remember that.
And it was every race. And I was just like, dude, it's $20 to take a look. You know?
So did we take a look?
You know? It was a Myrtle Beach race. I protested him. And I said, dude, it's no hard feelings. I'm tired of hearing people talk. You take your end bell off. I don't want to destroy none of your stuff.
Right.
You know? You're going to send the arm off to get it rebalanced anyway, so I'm just speeding up the process.
Was he legal?
His exact words were, had I won that race, you could see my motor, but for a 3rd place or 2nd place, I'm not tearing it down. And I was like, if you're legal, you get this money. I don't want to tear your motor apart. I don't want to destroy the arm, you know. All I want you to do is take the end bell off. That's it.
So what happened?
Said, no. He didn't take his end bell off. He said no. And then we told him, you understand, I wasn't in charge at the time. I was just a racer. You know, and I made it clear that it wasn't hard feelings or nothing like that. And I was like, dude, if you're legit, you know, just take your end bell off. Because if you don't allow this, you know, protest to go through, I'll get my money back. And you're banned from Mid-South for a year, you know? And that's when he said, I don't understand why it's a big deal. I didn't win. And I'm like, I care less if you didn't win or whatever. I'm tired of everyone talking about it, you know? It's kind of like, here's your opportunity to shut everyone up and say, look, I'm legal. You know, here's my motor for everyone to see. And then if anything, it may even help Tim get some motor business. Yeah. You know?
So he took his suspension?
Yep. All right. He hasn't raced with us since.
Yeah, I think he lives in Tennessee or something now. So, I don't remember. I saw him in a picture at Tracy's place. I recognized him, and he said that was that guy. Of course, I didn't remember.
Oh, that's no hard feelings. We're still, we evened up. He got his licks back in and kind of had a talk of where we squared. We're good. Okay. So.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was the first time I went to that track.
I don't know. That's a long time ago.
That was when Mike Lowry was the president of Mid-South, right?
Yes. Yep.
Good old
Mike Lowry and I think Guy.
Yep.
So what's the updates on the King Cobra there?
The King Cobra is bolted together and it's being sanded down. The surface is being sanded down, and we are buying paint to paint the surface this week. And we already have paint for the stripes because we striped the other track. So
yeah, what color the surface is going to be yet?
We're trying to decide whether we want it dark gray or black.
Black.
Yeah. It's like back and forth because the flat track looks really good dark gray. And so we were going to do black. It was like a dark green before. It was weird. And
But
so
that gray's okay because it's almost black.
yeah, it was like a military green. It was super weird. But so we're trying to decide whether to do dark gray or black. Probably gonna do black because it shows less and it's a lot cleaner looking.
Yep.
Um, we'll see what happens. Whichever paint's cheaper, I'm sure that's the one we're going for.
Hey, the best surface
That sounds like your dad right there.
the best surface I ever raced on was Sears Weather Beater porch paint.
Really?
About $20 a gallon.
Wow, that's a lot
Best
cheaper.
surface I've ever seen, and I love going to this track just because it's a unique track. So when we go to Marks, you've never been to Marks, Walker, but when you go there, you will be amazed how quick that track takes rubber.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yep.
because it's because of the texture.
Yeah, I mean that thing's it's awesome how it takes
The
rubber.
texture comes from the roller, the nap of the roller that you're going to use.
Yeah. You get there at 8 in the morning, and what you say, Ron? By 12, it's black.
Yeah, it rubbers up really quick.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there's other tracks that do that, but they're darker and you can't really tell. Because I remember, like when we've all been to Tracy's, you can't tell. 'Cause it's like
Well, if you look,
rubbered up, or
you can look and see where it's
yeah,
all
kind of dulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You just can't really see the build up as easy.
right.
Sometimes you don't want to see the build up.
No. As long as there's no marbles, we're okay.
Yep. As long as you can see the lane color stripes, you're good.
Yeah.
Did we have a problem like that at Marks? Where a guy was like, "We need to clean a little bit because I can't tell what lane's
No.
what."
You know, the 24-hour enduro race is coming up at Marks in February, and that's one of my thoughts and concerns is at some point in that race, you won't be able to see
The lanes.
the lane colors in the turns after running X number of hours.
I go just for the food.
Yep. Probably
I'll
get
try
breakfast
to-
there.
I'll try to make it. I don't know.
Probably get breakfast there.
Homemade donuts, homemade chicken strips, and pasta salad, nachos and cheese. Yeah, see, I'm hungry already.
So
Man,
who's racing this weekend?
I'm not.
I don't think I am. I don't know.
Are you?
No, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I can tell you 100%. Everyone keeps asking me about Mid-South, and I tell them I'll be there just because it's before the holidays. I'd like
Right.
to spend time with my friends before the holidays and kind of hang out and all of us go to dinner. Whether or not I race and I bring my stuff to race, that's still kind of iffy. Been kind of taking a break since the Flexi Flats. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I might be on top of the box doing a little crew chiefing.
There you go.
There's
So.
a spotting too.
Okay.
Yep. So
Other than that, I don't really have anything else to.
we don't have any giveaways because I know you said you're working on
No,
that.
as a matter of fact, I'm glad you said something because what did I say the date would be. So on December 19th, 2 weeks from today, the show, we're going to do our Santa special giveaway Christmas whatever hoopla show. I'm working on getting a bunch of stuff donated, so I'm hoping to give away tons of stuff.
That'd be cool.
So
The ZD Pro Slot,
Pro
Mid-America,
America, How to Sight, maybe
RM.
Going to contact Mazzetti, contact a few others that haven't given anything away on the show and see what we can.
I could use some 4.5-inch front tires. If anyone would like to Santa Claus me some 4.5-inch front tires.
Okay, so there's one I want. Let's just talk about that for example. So I don't know where to begin. Okay, so I don't race 4.5-inch a lot,
Right?
but I race enough times in a year to get aggravated over the front wheel situation, like the diameter situation. So luckily, Okay, I run USCA, I run Central Illinois Slot Series, and I guess an Ohio Oval Series race every now and then. And then you throw in the USRA rules, like for the USRA Nats.
Yeah.
Fortunately, everybody is minimum 400 thousandths wide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the Ohio Oval Series, the minimum diameter is 625.
Round or wide? Round or wide?
Round.
Okay, got it.
And then USRA is 675.
Yep.
And then when you go to assist race, it's 740. And when you go to USCA race, it's like 812 or 810 or 812.
Yeah, because I remember one time you were like, "You got any cars you can send me to borrow?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but what's the rules?" And you're like, "Yeah, I have to rebuild the front end. Your tires aren't big enough." It's like, I'll race this USRA stuff.
Right. So basically, like this weekend, even though the OSS rules were 625 or OOS, I actually ran like 680 tires.
Yeah.
Because my grinder, my Truer, has a set screw stop in. I couldn't find the right side Allen wrench to back it out so I could get smaller. So
couldn't put a smaller packer in it.
Yeah, it just stopped at 680, 685. So it's like close enough. They're gonna, know. So I mean, I could set cars up with 685s. They'd be legal in those two series. But then I got to set cars differently for the two other series, and it just it's so freaking aggravating.
There is some rules that I wish would be, I guess, I don't even know the word. I wish they were all the same.
Revised?
Yeah, to where they all kind of match. Here's a good front tire question.
To go race different series.
Yeah.
Do you roll on your front tires, or are they just on your 4.5-inch cars because they have to be?
For USRA and Ohio Oval Series, it's because they have to be. They serve no purpose being that small.
So they're just there. Okay.
They're just there. They rotate because the rules say they have to rotate on the axle.
Right.
But they do not have to touch and roll. Now in CIS and USCA, they have to touch and roll.
Yeah, when the car's rocked.
Even though the rules don't say that, they tech the cars guide flag out of the slot. So your chassis is resting on the
Gotcha.
the tires.
It's kind of like the old TOA rules where you have to have clearance.
Well, okay, so in CIS you have to have 15 thousandths clearance at the front of the chassis. And then in USCA you have to have 25 thousandths behind the front axle.
Gotcha.
So in those cases, yes, your tires do touch and roll. Unless you want to, put a bunch of guide spacers in there and make them not touch and roll, but then your car will be tippy.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I was trying to, you may see it differently, but I was trying to explain to someone.
Oh, and then you throw in, well, three of those four you can run aluminum pans. One you have to run metal pans. It's not a big deal to change your pans.
Yeah, I say pans don't bother me too much. That's just
still like, I got to take this car and change the pan and
yeah.
So
yeah.
And then basically too, certain like Walker's chassis. You couldn't run it with the bigger fronts because your car's designed for the
USRA chassis.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could run it in the Ohio Oval Series. You
Yeah.
could run it in USRA, but you couldn't run the other two because the bigger wheels won't fit.
You have to make you a certain pan for those divisions.
Yeah.
Fun. New product.
More tooling. Yeah.
New product.
More tooling, more product.
So, yeah, that kind of gets.
I was trying to think. There was a series. Wasn't it? I think it was y'all series. Wasn't it, Walker? The North versus South series. The front tires could be different sizes.
Yeah, it was.
At halftime, I would just run my USRA cars. Yeah. Like I know they meet
Right.
I think they were 625 because you can't get 675 or something out of a tube, and you can, but we couldn't, or something like that.
Right.
I don't
Yeah, for the
remember
guys who
that.
didn't have tire grinder. Yeah, your dad told me the story that he did it that way because they sold tires that small out of the tube or something.
Yeah,
And I think they were like 3.7. They were basically like JRL tires almost,
yeah,
or in open wheel tires. So,
yeah. So they were small, but it was fair to everybody because everybody could run smaller fronts.
right. Front
Yeah,
tire.
that's how our series went.
Got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I got dinner ready.
Yeah, you got dinner.
Before I came
Yeah.
on.
Work. That's been crazy for me. You would think this close to the holidays, construction would slow down.
It don't even
Nah.
feel like Christmas to me, but
Oh, trust me, I know it is because
I see all the lights and decorations. So
Yeah.
have you got your elf on the shelf yet?
no,
Walker, your parents got theirs up for you, so you'll be good.
Nah. It wouldn't work anyway, so it don't matter.
I don't even have my Christmas tree up yet.
We
We
don't
do
put a
it.
Christmas tree up anymore.
I got one of those little peanuts, Snoopy.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's
I
all.
think I'm trying to remember if we put a tree. It's like every other year we'll put a tree up, you know. But no, I don't. No, it's not the wish. Just, you
Yeah.
know.
What's the need?
We spend Christmas. So Christmas Eve we go to my brother's house, and then we put the kids to sleep, and then we stay up, and the elves go to work building toys and all that.
Drink.
And no, honestly, we don't drink because if I got to drinking, I ain't building nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
Drinking
cook-
begins.
we cook stuff that normally takes a while, so the next day all we got to do is heat it up. But it's just my brother's wife is super Christmas, loves Christmas. So in their house, there's 2 trees downstairs. There's a tree upstairs for the kids, and then her parents live kind of in their guest house, and her parents have a Christmas tree in their little area. So it's like, yeah, so if we want to see a Christmas tree, we just go to my brother's. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think we'll wrap this show up for this week,
Okay.
and we'll be back next Wednesday.
get a day off.
Yeah.
What is it?
So if any manufacturer, anybody out there wants to donate anything for the big giveaway, December
19th.
19th, contact myself and we'll make that happen.
Do we have a magic word for the show?
Secret word, not magic.
I like saying magic word. I think I always say magic word, don't I? Have to go back and look at.
You usually say secret words, so yeah. So
Beacon.
a beacon.
I like it. I was going to say front tires.
Beacon
Yeah.
for controversy. Beacon. All right.
That's
B as in boy. Can. Beacon is your secret word this week. I'm sure that could get more interesting as the next few days goes on. We'll see.
Tune in.
I was trying to find my 1968 mirror catalog earlier before the show, and I can't put my hands on it. It's here somewhere, but
You have to look in the vault.
then I'm thinking, well, it probably came out in early 68 before the B-cans were even, because B-can came out in late 68, like September, October.
Me and Walker were just floating around waiting to be little hatchlings.
I probably didn't even exist yet.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I was a big 5 years old. So,
Almost to your womp womp stages.
starting kindergarten
Yeah.
Eating crayons and drinking chocolate milk.
when that B-can came out. Learning the ABCs, and it wasn't motor cans.
Obviously, you skipped B because you're a big cheater.
That's a BC can right there.
BC powder.
Yeah.
Goody.
He didn't call me a cheater. He just said that I wasn't legal.
Oh yeah, 'cause there's a big difference.
Well, can you break the law and not be a criminal?
Not that I
I
know
barked
of.
and I don't know. I had something funny. I was gonna say it totally. I was just like, nah, I ain't.
Well, if you get a speeding ticket, you're breaking the law. Are you a criminal? I mean,
That's true.
you know,
Got an overweight ticket one time going across the scales.
how much did you weigh?
I was 1,000 pounds over my front axle. It's $1 a pound in South Carolina.
Well, you look pretty good for losing all that weight.
That was a good one. The officer told me, he said, "Hey, you have a way to move weight around, you could do it." And I was like, "And you'll let me go back across the scale?" And he was like, "Yeah." I took them off the back of the truck and went back through the scale. Had no clue. Good to go, buddy.
Good to
Okay.
go.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't coming out of his office. And
Okay.
that's a way to get rid of 5,000 pounds. Just take that off the back of the truck.
Until next week, the secret word is BCAN.
Go Beacon.
If you're going racing this weekend, have good luck. Be safe. And we'll
Have
see
fun.
you next Wednesday. What's that day going to be? December 12th.
12.
Episode 70. Till
We
then.
should have Uncle Bob. In 2 weeks, Uncle Bob turns 70.
No.
Yeah, he had a post that said like in 2 weeks he was turning. Maybe I read it wrong.
I think you read it wrong.
I have to go back and look. I have to ask my sources.
Okay. Until next week.